Now, on the quality, tip, it's important to, I think, for people to realize that what you eat determines how much you eat. So if you don't want to become obsessed with like calorie counting and portion control and things like that, which I think are pretty unnatural. Like,
right. Well, to do it all the time, right? Like, I think if you are going to do it, it's supposed to be for a period of time. Even I've had friends who've done it for just a week and been like, okay, like now I understand where the holes are. I'm going to stop tracking. I know what changes I need to make and thinking about the types of food I'm eating. But yeah, I think you can get caught in an unhealthy mindset if you're overly focused on that. Like I've had female friends and they told me when they were younger trying to lose weight, a little bit less now with the internet, there is more access to this type of information. They said they would buy the frozen dinners and meals because it was the only thing with the calories on it versus like Whole Foods, right? There's no calories on that. So they couldn't, now we have MyFitnessPal and all that. So I do think people are probably a little more educated in that zone. But that's crazy to me. Like, okay, I'm only picking foods where I can see the calories on the package. You're not going to end up in a good place.
Definitely not. Didn't you do that for a while? You said that you like only at first started eating like processed packaged foods.
I think, yeah, maybe for a period of time. Or, I mean, I was just, at one point I was eating like so little. It was sad. But wow. I also like what you say. What is it like? If you eat too much of chips, processed food, moral failure.
Yes.
No.
No. Correct.
Those foods are meant to be overconsumed, right? And it's not that you can have maybe some fun foods in your house, but if it's a trigger for you, maybe just go out and get that with a friend or something. Like don't keep, I don't know, if I kept too much food and like junkish food in my house, I would not be able to resist. It'd be too much.
Yeah. I discovered recently a brand of paleo-approved, in air quotes, pretzels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They're grain-free pretzels. Okay. Like hard, like pretzel, like, they're not like soft. They're hard. They come in a bag by a brand called Quinn's. And they're amazing. Like
wow.
They're so good. They're so crunchy. And I literally, like I do a thing, my brother makes fun of me. He calls it whole bagging. Like
when you down the whole bag.
When you down the whole bag. Yeah. See, I'm transparent about like, how food affects me. I buy those and I'll eat the whole bag.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how even like the healthier versions of things can have the similar like, overconsumption. I will say there's certain healthier items like lightly processed, or I don't know, I guess you could be the judge of that.
Yeah.
That I find that I don't really overconsume. Like actually Siete chips for me, they taste good versus like a super salty, like they're just lightly salty, like super salty.
Yeah.
I'll eat way more. So, it's kind of find those trigger points for you and maybe, don't keep that many bags.
Yeah. I mean, I do it regularly, but you're right. Yeah. They're better for you than I think like your usual, like wheat, like bleached wheat flour based pretzels and things like that.
Yeah. I think you were one of the first people to teach me a little bit more about the wheat flour, and then looking into the research on that, like just how that's just way less nutritious. That's why obviously almond flour, coconut flour can be a better choice for baking or in some of those other items because there's a lot more nutrients in the coconut and almond plant versus the wheat plant, which I think is a great point.
Yeah, totally agree. And wheat can be problematic for people. Gluten is one of the most common allergens.
Yeah. Well, plus I heard the way, we process gluten in the U.S. is not, well, I guess it's usually sprayed more than in Europe. So there's also that problem. Because I've had friends who go to Europe and they're like, you know what, I ate the gluten there and I felt better. Like I didn't feel quite like some of the gluten choices in America, which is interesting. What are your go-to snacks?
Oh man, you've turned the tables on me. I'm the one being interviewed. I like it. Go-to snacks. I enjoy, so like, low fat or fat-free Greek yogurt I think is good.
Yep.
It's also interesting if it's fat-free, it doesn't necessarily have to be grass-fed.
Yeah.
Because like grass-fed really dictates like the quality of the fat. And if you're going for fat-free, then it's not a huge deal.
That's a good point. It's also still not super easy to find. I will say that.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's cheap. It's a great protein source. I'll do like a protein shake occasionally, dark chocolate, beef jerky. I started working with a company, Paleo Valley. They make these beef sticks.
Oh.
Have you tried Paleo Valley?
I need to try it. No, I haven't tried it.
They're so good.
I know I'm going on a road trip soon, so maybe I'll find some of that at the store.
They're so good. Paleo Valley beef sticks. They're awesome. I'll take like a dozen of them with me like on a road trip, and I'll just just plow through those. What else is there?
Well, you probably don't snack that much, so those are kind of like your go-tos.
Have you tried? Okay, so they're like water lily seeds. Have you heard of water lily seeds?
No.
There's a brand. It's called like Asha Pops.
Okay.
There's like a few brands out there. I have no like.
Are they
preference.
really good?
They're super tasty, and I know that you're all about the volume. They're like a high volume.
Ooh, yes.
Snack.
Yes, I know. I want to just eat as much as possible.
Yeah. What are some other? I mean, you probably know. Like, what are some other high volume like epic snacks to keep around?
Oh, I mean, I love some of the OG ones like carrots and hummus, especially if you find a good like clean hummus, because a lot of those have those inflammatory oils. So make it yourself or try to find a better one. Protein shakes, even cucumber. Yeah. I love cucumber. It's super refreshing. Dark chocolate and berries, all that stuff. I do the rice cake. Sometimes I'll do Ezekiel toast. I like Ezekiel bread.
Yeah.
If I don't mind a little bit of gluten.
Yeah, gluten I would put in the same category of like probably better to minimize it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't have it every day.
Yeah. That's super interesting. So, and then you're also like, we were talking about meat and eggs and things like that. You're like unapologetic about like you eat meat, you eat eggs.
I mean, not as unapologetic as you, but yes, I'm all about it. I think they're a great source of nutrients. Obviously if you can go for grass-fed, pasture-raised, but to hit your protein macros and not have a lot of carbs and fat definitely makes it much easier. And like I said, so many nutrients, and you can get the best of both worlds, right? You don't have to give up vegetables. Like you can eat vegetables and get the meat and eggs. I know there's like the battle of like carnivore versus vegan. I'm just going to stand here in the center.
That's what I choose to do as well.